again, I'm Lisa DiFrancesco and I'm back for your second classroom program. Today, we're going to be using the water quality test kits that we'll be using on the day of the field trip. But first, we're going to start with our water quality worksheet. This time, the water quality worksheet looks a little bit different. Some of the blanks are filled in, some aren't. Your job is to fill in the information that's missing. We're going to pause the video here so your teacher can pass out a worksheet to everyone, and you're going to fill in the missing information. When you're done, we'll start the video back up and review what you filled in. When we're reviewing the missing information, if you couldn't remember what it was or if you spelled something wrong, go ahead and fill it in or correct it on your worksheet as we go. In the box with the cow next to it, you should have nitrates and the word bad. The next box is dissolved oxygen, and that is good. The next box is water temperature, and we didn't put any reminder for good or bad on that one, just water temperature. And the last box is pH, small letter P, capital letter H, and our note on there was 6 to 8 is good. That's the healthy range. We're done with the water quality worksheet. You can put that away. I promise you are not going to see that again. While we're doing our testing today, you're going to need to record your results on a data sheet. When you get your data sheet, I want you to notice that below each test, there's a healthy range listed. Those are the ideal results that we want to find when we're testing the river water. We're going to pause the video here so your teacher can pass out data sheets to everyone and divide the class into 5 groups. We're doing all 4 tests today, but I'm going to demonstrate one at a time. So you're going to see the whole procedure from start to finish. When I'm done with the demonstration, we're going to pause the video so your teacher can pass out the test equipment that you need for that test. Then we're going to advance the video just a little, and you're going to see the written directions for that test up on the screen, and you can follow those step by step. Dissolved oxygen is our first test today. It's in a flat black box, and it's labeled right on the front, dissolved oxygen. Inside the box, there's the vial. And then our comparator that we're going to use at the end to check our results. This is glass, please don't drop this. You're also going to need a chemical to get the test results. That's going to be in this sealed glass tube. It's called an ampule, and they come in this box. Your teacher's going to pass these out to you when you're at that step of the directions. Take out the plastic test tube and fill it with water to the 25 milliliter line. For the next step, you're going to need the glass ampule with the chemical in it. Your teacher will give this to you when you're ready for this step. You're going to take the narrow end of the ampule and put it into the test tube. Make sure it's hooked into one of those dips that goes around the edge of the test tube. Hold the test tube with one hand. Make sure the ampule is straight up and down, not at an angle. Pull the ampule against the edge of the test tube. The end's going to snap off. The water's going to get pulled in. And you're going to see a color change pretty quickly. Once the ampule has filled with water, turn it over slowly, letting the bubble travel from top to bottom. We're going to mix the chemical and the water a couple times. After the water and the chemical in your ampule is mixed, we're going to set the timer for 2 minutes. If you check it too soon, the test isn't going to be done and you won't have an accurate result. When your time is up, take your ampule and see which one it matches the closest to in the comparator. If you think it's in between 2 results, say it's a little darker than a 6 but lighter than an 8, it can be a 7. It can be in between, it just has to be a whole number, not a half number. You're going to record your result on your data sheet, and when you're done, your teacher's going to collect your ampule and throw it in the trash. We're going to pause the video here so your teacher can pass out the dissolved oxygen test kit along with the cup of water. Once you have the test kit and the directions are on the screen, go ahead and get started. Our second test is temperature. All you're going to need is a thermometer. Temperature is a quick and easy test. You're going to take your thermometer, place it in the cup of water. Give it a minute or two to adjust, and then read the result. Make sure when you're reading the result, the thermometer is straight up and down, and you're looking eye level with the thermometer. So if you need to, pick up the cup with the thermometer in it and read it that way. Don't take it out of the cup to read it. If you do that, you're going to record the air temperature, not the water temperature. Once you've read your thermometer, go ahead and record your result on your data sheet. We'll pause the video here. Your teacher's going to pass out the thermometer. Once you have your equipment and the directions are up on the screen, go ahead and get started. Our third test is nitrates. It's in a larger blue box. Inside the nitrate test kit, you have your test tube and the comparator that we're going to use to check our results at the end. Using the pipette, you're going to fill the test tube with water to the 5 milliliter line. Once your test tube is filled, your teacher's going to come around with nitrate number 1. You're going to hold the test tube. After the tablet goes in, you're going to put the cap on and shake until it's dissolved. When tablet number 1 is dissolved, you're going to remove the cap, and your teacher's going to come around with nitrate tablet number 2. Same thing. You're going to pop one nitrate tablet number 2 in, place the cap back on, and shake until it's dissolved. Once the second tablet is dissolved, we're going to set the timer for 5 minutes. When 5 minutes have passed, you're going to take the test tube and place it into the comparator. As you lower it down, see which result on the comparator it matches the closest to. Record your result on the data sheet. Okay, teachers, this is the fastest way to pass out the nitrate 1 and 2 tablets. When the students are ready and they have their test tube filled to the 5 milliliter line, each group's going to take the cap off. They're going to hold the test tube. You're going to go around with nitrate number 1 first. Take the printed side, place that down on the test tube, and pop one nitrate number 1 tablet into the test tube. Students will put the cap on, shake it until it's dissolved, and then you're going to repeat the same thing with the nitrate number 2 tablets. Let's pause the video here so your teacher can pass out the nitrate test kit, and you're also going to need a pipette with this. Once you have your equipment and the directions are up on the screen, go ahead and begin. Our last test is pH, and it's in the smaller blue box. Inside the test kit, we have our test tube, your wide range indicator that we're going to use to get the result. Leave the cap on until it's time to use it, and our comparator that we'll use at the end to check our results. Using the pipette, fill the test tube to the 10 milliliter line with water. That line is closest to the top. The dropper bottle that's in your test kit is a wide range indicator. You're going to place 10 drops into the test tube. Make sure you hold the bottle straight up and down so you get nice sized drops. Place the cap on the test tube and turn it over once to mix the reagent with the water. Take the test tube and place it into the opening of the comparator and see which result it matches the closest to. If the color in your test tube doesn't match any of the options on the comparator, switch it with the other one that's in your test kit and see if you can find a good match. Record your results on your datasheet. We're going to pause the video here so your teacher can pass out the pH test kits. Once you have it and the directions are up on the screen, go ahead and begin your test. You've completed all 4 tests and recorded your results on the datasheet. But keep in mind, you're testing tap water, not the river water. What's considered healthy for the tap water isn't quite the same for the river. For example, dissolved oxygen. It doesn't matter how much is in our drinking water, we don't have gills, we can't absorb it, so it's not important. Temperature isn't important either. We're not living in the water. Nitrates, though, that's important. We want to make sure there are no nitrates in the river water as well as in our tap water. And pH 6.8 is ideal for our drinking water too, but you eat and drink things that are outside of that range all the time. That's it for our classroom portion. Nice job, everyone. Next time I see you will be on the morning of our field trip. Have a great day.